All right, here we go. Y'all know what time it is? It's Monday already. What in the world? I mean, there's so much craziness going on in the world right now. I don't even know how to even start. But that's what we got to do. We got to start. Let's go. Big Picture Live coming right at you. All right, good to see everybody here tonight on the Big Picture. I'm telling you, this is the news cycle is so crazy. And when we're going to get in tonight, we're going to go down a little rabbit hole tonight. We're going to ask some questions, maybe a little conspiracy. But, yeah, we got a lot to cover tonight, a lot to talk about. Go ahead and smash that like button if you hadn't already done it. Smash it, smash it, smash it. And, of course, if you're watching on any of the platforms that you're watching tonight, show us love. They got thumbs up. They got likes. They got hearts. They got all kinds of things. And let's blow it up, blow it up, blow it up. And, of course, you know, here lately we've been starting the show with my beautiful bunny rabbit. She is a star, not in the making. She's already a superstar. She may be watching tonight. So let's hear from our little Harper and get this show going. Come on, Harper. Come on in. You can do it, baby. I know I'm trying to bring you in, but it's...
Get ready for my Papa and Nana on the Big Picture.
Yay! Papa and Nana. Look at Nana. Wait a minute. That's not Nana. What? We have a special guest tonight. It is the bunny rabbit's daddy, Alex Pickle.
She gets her looks from me. Nah, just kidding.
That's good. I'm sure my daughter would appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm sure she's watching.
All
She's
right.
happy about that.
So we have a special co-host in tonight. It is none other than my son-in-law. I have to call him that because I didn't put my DNA into him. Greg Pickle, if you're watching now, that's his daddy. But he is my spiritual son, and I'm really, really proud to have him on there. And some of you are looking for, where is Sandy? Well, you might be surprised to know that Sandy is in Mexico watching tonight on a missions trip. So we just want to show some love to Sandy doing the Lord's work in Mexico, y'all. We got a big team there in Mexico that is building a church. In fact, today's their last day, and they sent me pictures today. I should have had them ready to go. I've just been so crazy I hadn't had a chance to do it. But they have built an entire church from the ground up. They built the walls. They hand built them. Then they built the trusses, put the roof on, and they'll be coming back home sometime tomorrow. And they are going to leave a church behind in the nation of Mexico for people to worship in. And I just thought that was amazing. And, of course, we knew that she wasn't going to be here tonight, so I just told my wife, I said, look, this is the night to introduce the world to Alex Pickle. So, Alex, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me on. It's a great honor to be on here.
All right. You excited? Because you know we're going to get into some stuff. You watch the show. You know this is...
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this as much as the people that are watching are. We'll see where this thing goes.
All right. So y'all make Alex welcome in the live chat, and we'll talk about this at the end of the program after you've had a chance to hear from him. But I just want to show you that down in the description right off the bat, if you want to, you can do it now or after the program. You can go to his channel. He's got a brand new channel that he is building and that he is sharing the gospel on and things. And I know he would love it if you'd go down there and subscribe. It's already in the description of the YouTube video. I will put it in the Rumble if you're watching on Rumble when it's over with tonight, and the X. But if you watch it on YouTube, just go down there and click the subscribe button, and I know that he would appreciate that greatly. Let's get into the first news item tonight. The internet is abuzz. It is abuzz as Biden has now stepped out of the running for president, y'all. I think everybody knows that. A lot of stuff has happened since then, but there's a buzz going around about this dropout letter, and it doesn't match the executive orders of all his other signatures. Now, this is where you get into conspiracy and you get into, are you going to accuse him of this, and that? No, we're just going to show you just some things that people are saying, and then we'll share our feelings on it. But the verified Biden signature is on the left, and the resignation letter signature is on the right. It says on Monday, Joe Biden officially dropped out of the 2024 presidential race and endorsed Kamala Harris. Biden's sudden decision to drop out of the race did not come through a press conference or an official White House press release, but rather from a post on X, from Biden's X account, and contained a letter without official presidential seal. It was not on the White House stationery. And Biden's campaign staffers were completely blindsided by Joe Biden's announcement to drop out of the 24 race. Quote, none of us understood what was happening, a staffer told Politico. We're all finding out by tweet. And shortly after Biden's announcement letter was released, several journalists noticed Biden's signature in his announcement letter did not match Biden's official signature. Journalist Dr. Naomi Wolf took to X and compared Biden's official signature, according to Wikipedia, and the most recent signature of the dropout letter. And of course, then we have the comparisons of the executive order signature and then the signature of his resignation letter. And one of the things that they noticed, Alex, is that they could not find one single instance of him signing a letter where he underlined his name.
Exactly. And I don't understand the part about leaving off the junior. I haven't seen, there's hardly any examples out there of leaving the junior off, and then right here in front of us we see that.
Yeah. Yeah, so of course that opens the door to the thoughts of, like I think we all thought this, and we all think this, and even if you're a Biden supporter, and even if you are a lifelong Democrat, and it doesn't matter, I think most people would realize that Joe Biden has not been running his X account. He's not been making these tweets and these posts. So I don't think it came a surprise that he did not type out his resignation letter. But when you start looking at the signature, it almost implies that he didn't sign it either. And it looks like a digital signature that was copied and pasted is what some people are saying. So what is your feelings? What is your thoughts? Do you think Joe Biden even knew that he resigned?
I don't think he was aware that he did. I think he was as surprised as his staffers were. And I find it very surprising that that whoever, if it wasn't Joe Biden, that they didn't go back and look at some of his past signatures. That's the part. They didn't think that people were going to catch on to this.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking too. It's like there's so much stuff that come out that it's like, who is running this show? Who's making these decisions to think, we're not living in the 90s anymore. I mean, we've got the receipts. When they say things, well, I've never said that, and they just said it on video, and then somebody pops the video up. Same thing I think what you're saying there too is, who thought this through? And here's another thing. As early as 11:15 a.m. on Sunday morning, his surrogates was on the morning shows saying Joe Biden is not getting out of this race. He has made a decision. He believes he can win. He's going to run for president, and he's going to beat Donald Trump. And the shows went off the air. These were people in his staff that were on the air saying Joe Biden is going to stay in the race. And in less than an hour, the tweet went out. It's like, what happened between all the commands to go on the shows and say, we're not going anywhere? And then all of a sudden, you read that staffers are saying 1 minute, this is what everybody's saying, 1 minute before the post went out, they got a text, he's dropping out.
And what is the reason to leave the presidential seal off? Why is that? Is it a legal thing if he didn't sign it? I don't know. There has to be a reason.
Yeah. And you go down that road and you start saying, well, because it wasn't done by anybody on the White House staff. Yeah. I mean, but you would think at his Delaware home he would have stationery.
Right.
I mean, come on. You're the president of the United States of America. You're not going to have White House stationery at your house?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just weird. It's just weird all across the board, and it gets weirder by the moment. And as we go through the big picture tonight, it's going to get weirder and weirder and weirder. This is what we were talking about here. Incredible report is coming out about how the White House aides and campaign officials found out that their boss, President Joe Biden, was stepping aside. Of course, we remember the infamous when they had to have a staffer in a bunny suit to pull him off of the crowd. Things are getting pretty crazy with all the news regarding Joe Biden's finally caving to the coup attempt to get him out of the election race. This was likely a foregone conclusion once the donors dried up and once the elites like Nancy Pelosi and Barack Obama got involved. But what a wild way to drop out of the race, opting for a letter instead of public remarks, although he did say he would talk later this week. He didn't even initially endorse Kamala Harris, and as of that night, the campaign was supposedly all systems go. And then, of course, this is Biden's announcement stunned White House campaign aides, and it says that we're all finding out by tweet, said one Dem. None of us understands what is happening. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And, of course, shortly, right after, says, let's read this first. Biden's announcement stunned White House and campaign aides who up until the afternoon of Sunday were insisting he's still staying in the race. We're all finding out by tweet. None of us understand what is happening. Now, if you remember when he first initially sent out the X with how weird is it that it wasn't even just a tweet, it was a paper document. It was like a letter that was old school, scanned and uploaded to of all places, the Elon Musk X account that they've vilified. They put it there with a just thank you, Kamala, but no endorsement. And then they realized real quick they got in trouble. And then a matter of minutes later, oh, and by the way, I wholeheartedly endorse Kamala Harris.
Well, and obviously, I guess the public found out when the campaign people found out. They were asking the question, does Biden even know that he dropped out?
Yeah. I'm still asking that question. Mm-hmm. Alex, welcome to the world of rabbit holes and interesting questions.
Hey, I love rabbit holes.
Yeah, that you have to ask questions without getting in trouble with the algorithm false gods out there. Yeah, can you feel it? Can you feel it? Oh, yeah. Can you feel the love tonight? Well, of course, in the craziness of it, just think about it. It has not even been 2 weeks since an attempt was made on the life of Donald Trump. Donald Trump had his convention this past week, which was an incredible convention. Even the Democrats were saying they'd never seen a unified Republican Party like that. He picks his vice president candidate, J.D. Vance. And today, in the hullabaloo of all of this, J.D. Vance goes out and makes his first alone individual campaign stops. And this is what he did. I mean, he come out today and he proclaimed, J.D. Vance says to Joe Biden, it's time to resign now. And I want to get your feelings on this. Republican vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance believes President Joe Biden should immediately step down as commander-in-chief now that the 81-year-old incumbent has announced he is ending his reelection bid. Hours before the president announced the end of his candidacy, Vance and Biden, on Sunday, Vance said Biden stepping aside as the presumptive nominee would be a clear admission that he is mentally unfit to continue to serve as president. If Joe Biden ends his presidential reelection campaign, how can he justify remaining president? Not running for reelection would be a clear admission that President Trump was right all along about Biden not being mentally fit to serve as commander-in-chief. There is no middle ground. So, what they're saying now is the 25th Amendment needs to be applied because, okay, he stepped aside and he says in his tweet that he's going to continue to serve his country for the next 6 months. Well, my question to you is, and question to everybody on the big picture world, if you have been deemed to not be able, because of your age, your condition, whatever, to serve another 4 years, then how are you capable to have the nuclear codes and all the other things for the next 6 months?
Yeah, and I guess the bigger question is it actually going to change? Are we going to see any change? Because has he really been in control for who knows how long?
Yeah.
So I agree. Yeah, if he does back out, what are we going to see that's actually going to differ from what we've been dealing with in the past? Are we going to still continue to see these, these quotes and things come out that are supposedly from him?
Right.
Right. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that it's very obvious. And what we've said on this program and what many of you have thought, Joe Biden has not been the president. He was not the president from the beginning. There might have been a brief moment at the very beginning of his administration where he had some cognitive abilities, but call it what you want to, deep state, whatever, the group around him has been the president. And so we all know that, but you know what the question is that I immediately go to. It's okay, we know that he's not been the president. He's not the president now, that people are running it. But who are those people?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't even have any names. We have no idea who is actually negotiating deals with Ukraine and talking to people in Israel. It's not Joe Biden.
Yeah.
So who are these people? And we keep hearing we've got to stop Donald Trump because he is a threat to democracy. We just witnessed an actual American version of a coup.
Yeah.
You have a person who was democratically elected. He won all the delegates overwhelmingly. Almost 90% of the delegates went to his name. And you've known all along that he was not mentally capable, but you didn't remove him. You only removed him when you realized there was no path to victory. So you just force a man out when it was very obvious he did not want to quit, and certainly Jill Biden didn't want to quit.
Yeah. Well, and what was it, the day before that he was talking about how he's about to be coming out with some, he's signing new executive orders and legislation and all kinds of stuff. Like he's going to be, like he's continuing to go on. Was he truthfully forced out? I mean, did they push him out?
I mean, yeah.
Someone did.
I think we can easily say that he was pushed out. In fact, I think he was bought out.
Yeah.
I think there was some guarantees made for Hunter. I think there was some money involved, probably. I mean, it's that age-old thing: slide an envelope over there, just a piece of paper, just write the amount that's needed. The example that I gave was like a college football coach. He's being recruited. He's in Texas. He's being recruited to coach at Alabama, and rumors are swirling. And he goes before the mic and he says, "I'm in Texas. I'm going to stay in Texas. They can't nothing pull me out of Texas." But behind the scenes, they're just like, "Tell us an amount."
Yep. And
they come back with that amount, and then the next day he's on a plane headed to Alabama.
Exactly.
So it's like we just can't believe anything that's being said. I like go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, where's Jill at? When are we going to hear from Jill? Was she forced to give it up as well?
Oh, yeah. Jill was one they negotiated with.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, we ain't seeing Jill because Jill is mad.
Mm-hmm.
Jill was having too much fun because she has been the president. She's been at least the president's handler. We've seen that. You did so good, Joe. You answered all the questions. You knew all the answers. J.D. Vance makes a good point here. He says everyone calling on Joe Biden to stop running without also calling on him to resign the presidency is engaged in an absurd level of cynicism. If you can't run, you can't serve. You should resign now. And I think everybody agrees with that. And honestly, I think Kamala Harris agrees with that. And that's why I think, this is my prediction, that even as we speak right now, there is negotiations going on for the transfer of power, because I don't think she has a good shot of winning anyway. But by the way, no one should ever assume anything in the political world of America when it involves Donald Trump. But I think that she feels like, and the Democrats probably feel like, she has at least a leg up to run as an incumbent and to be able to say, regardless of how I got here, I am the first woman president. I am the first woman of color president. And you really going to vote against me? You and the media is just going to jump on board.
Oh, exactly.
In fact, that makes me want to jump ahead a little bit here, and I'm going to play a video that Sandy sent me. Is Sandy in the live chat? I saw somebody say, "Hey, Sandy." I don't know if she's in the live chat or not. She's watching. If you're watching, you want to jump in here and say something to the people, please do, Sandy, if you hadn't already done that. But she sent me this video that I thought was interesting. This was from 1989.
It's incredible.
You've seen it?
Yes.
Okay. So this is former President Gerald Ford, and he is going and he's speaking on public television, and this young girl asked a question about whether we're ever going to have a woman president.
On October 18, 1989, in West Branch, Iowa, Gerald Ford, the 38th President of the United States, shared history with students from across Iowa. The visit was part of a conference on the role of former presidents in American society, sponsored by the Herbert Hoover Library and Museum and the Gerald Ford Library and Museum. Here's how these students took advantage of a rare learning opportunity.
Thank you very, very much. It's a very high honor and a very great privilege for me to come to West Branch and to participate in this conference, which is being held here at the Hoover facilities.
Mr. Ford, what advice would you give a young lady wanting to become President of the United States?
Well, I hope we do have a...
Please pay close attention to the former president in 1989 and his prediction of how we will finally get a woman president.
A young lady at some point become President of the United States. I can tell you how I think it will happen, because it won't happen in the normal course of events. Either the Republican or Democrat political party will nominate a man for president and a woman for vice president. And the woman and man will win. So you'll end up with a president, a male, and a vice president, a female. And in that term of office of the president will die. And the woman will become president under the law or Constitution. And once that barrier is broken, from then on, men better be careful, because they'll have a hard time ever even getting a nomination in the future. But that's the way it's going to happen, and I think it'll probably come sometime in the next 4 or 8 years.
Now, of course, there was a woman nominee that happened not long after that, but they did not win the presidency. But wow. I mean, he just laid it out that this is how it's going to happen. But the thing that jumped out at me was what he said afterwards to the men, that once a woman gets in office, it will be virtually impossible for a man to ever become president again. And that was in 1989, but I think what he was alluding to is that it will be a very difficult narrative to ever overcome that.
Yeah, I agree. And, I mean, he obviously – he was on to something. What were the conversations that were going on? And he obviously had dealt with this. This question had probably come up in the past, and it was something that had been thought about. And then the part that really just stuck out to me, and I don't know if this sticks out to anybody else, but why would that be the answer that you would give to a young girl and absolutely just destroy her dreams on that? To me, it was, you're talking about death and everything. I know when my daughter asks me something, I'm trying to, I try to be somewhat vague on some things. And it was like he was talking to the American people right there. He knew he was talking to these children, but then, really, who's all going to hear this,
It was almost like he had, even back then, been told the plan.
Exactly. Yeah.
Of how it's, because he didn't just say, this is just something I've been thinking about. This is my opinion. He spoke it like, this is how it's going to go down.
Yeah.
This is how it's going to go down. And once this goes down, he was off on the years there. And I'm not even saying it's going to happen now. But he was saying, listen, y'all, when this finally happens, it changes everything. Because, just think about how hard it is to, I'm trying not to say, I'm not going to say them, but I think everybody knows that the cards that are going to be played with Kamala. And it's like it's difficult to call out somebody's policy because we live in a world now, oh, okay, I know why you're that. You're this. You're only saying that because you're this. No, I'm saying that abortion is wrong. It has nothing to do with who said it. I'm just saying whether it's Republican or Democrat, abortion is wrong.
Yeah.
You know, I'm saying, no, I believe in the traditional family has nothing to do with the skin color of someone or the gender of someone that said it. I'm not against them because of that. I'm against them because I don't believe that that is God's plan.
Yeah. Well, no, but you're going to be labeled that.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Those are the cards that they're going to play. And that's why we have to walk lightly on this show, brother.
I am really holding back on some of the things.
Yeah, I know you are. I know. I had to have a talk with him, y'all. I had to sit him down first, and I had to give him the ground rules that, hey, this ain't us sitting in the living room here.
Yeah.
The algorithm's coming after us. By the way, I thank you to all. I see a bunch of new people on here tonight. What a blessing. Awesome, man. If you hadn't already done it, smash that like button. Smash it, smash it, smash it. And if you come in late and some of y'all are like, where is Sandy?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Look, that's okay, son.
I do have blonde hair.
You do have blonde hair, but I'm sorry, you're no Sandy.
I could have wore the long blonde hair wig.
That would have been a little too weird. That would have probably got you this.
Yeah. That would have been a mess.
We'll come back to that later. Sandy's watching from Mexico, y'all. She's on a missions trip and down there with a team from our church. And this is my son-in-law, Alex Pickle, and he is one half of the married couple that brought me my bunny rabbit and my ladybug that I talk so much about that changed my life. So thank you for giving me my grandbabies.
Right. We can get my other half on here at some point.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna raise them up, and then of course I told you earlier, if you hadn't already seen this, and I'll show you. There's a link down below. You need to go subscribe tonight to Alex's channel. He is starting out. He's got a call on his life as well, and he's called to the YouTube world. So y'all go check it out. Link down in the description. Well, all this talk, Alex, is leading people to talk about something called the 25th Amendment. And the 25th Amendment is something that was added. It was an amendment that was ratified shortly after the assassination of John F. Kennedy. And the 25th Amendment allows for several scenarios, but one of the scenarios is that the vice president, the sitting vice president, if the cabinet of the existing president and the vice president determine that the president no longer has the mental acuity or is physically unable to discharge the services of president, they can go secretly without the president's approval to the Congress, and they can begin the 25th Amendment, which is the removal of the president and installing the vice president as the president for the remainder of the term. So I don't know if it's going to go that, but there's a lot of talk about the 25th Amendment. And this article goes on to say, in announcing he would no longer be Democrats' presidential candidate on Sunday, Joe Biden professed that he was doing so because he believed, quote, in the best interest of his party and the country. While Biden did not elaborate further on his reasoning, he promised to address the country later this week with more details about his decision. When he eventually addresses the nation, Biden will likely portray himself as a modern-day hero. They're already calling him a hero. All the Democrats that were saying, you are killing us, you're going to cause us to lose the House, lose the Senate, now he's a hero. Will likely portray himself as a modern-day hero, withdrawing from the race to protect America from the existential, I can't ever say that word, threat of Donald Trump. Whether Biden mentions his horrible debate performance remains to be seen. But if he does, the president will surely frame the spectacle, as he has over the last 3 weeks, as a mistake, a bad night, or caused by jet lag or Trump's off-mic interruptions. Left unsaid will be the fact that party insiders and Democrat mega donors forced Biden to step down out of fear that Trump would win the presidency again. These reasons, however, are all misdirection, seeking to distract the country from what they witnessed during the debate. A commander-in-chief suffering from mental incapacity. Yes, the public spectacle of the president's cognitive impairment prompted Democrats to conclude Biden could not win the re-election, and the conclusion that Biden could not win re-election led to his withdrawal from the race. But why Biden bowed out as the Democrat candidate, or why Biden or others claim he did, isn't significant. Instead, what matters is that Biden lacks a stable mental capacity. That matters because a man lacking in lucidity, if only at times, cannot discharge the powers and duties of the office of president. So it goes on to say, he says, the author of this says after the debate, whether caused by age, dementia, or Alzheimer's matters not. The President of the United States cannot discharge his duties if he lacks the lucidity for a fraction of a day. The Commander-in-Chief must be able to command the executive branch. It is said by many, and I do believe it probably is, in the secular world, the presidency of the United States is the most powerful and most important position in the entire world. And if you cannot function mentally, how in the world do you stay as president for the next 6 months?
Yeah. And I mean, from what I've watched, and I went back today and watched some of his past interviews, and you can clearly see the cognitive decline.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's obvious. And I think they finally got to the point where they couldn't, whatever he was maybe propped up on,
Yeah.
he couldn't hide it no more.
But you know what I think? I think even if the money wouldn't have dried up, they would have still propped him up. They literally would have, because look, here's the thing. They've been complicit all along. I know people are going to push back up on me, and they're going to think I'm turning into some political guy. I'm not a political guy. I'm a preacher. But I got to tell it like it is. The reality is this is probably the largest cover-up in the history of the United States, certainly in modern times, because it doesn't just involve it involves every single person that ever ran into him and ever had any kind of event with him. It involves every media outlet. It involves social media accounts. It involves thousands of people that all just said, look, we can't let Donald Trump be president, so we got to tell everybody that behind the scenes he's sharp as a tack. They all knew, and now they're all acting so shocked. It is a cover-up, and they would still be all in with him, Alex.
Oh, yeah.
If the money had not dried up.
I agree.
When the money dried up, they was like, we got to move on.
Yeah. Oh, money is the absolute reason. I think another thing, too, and this, to me, from looking at it from a world perspective and for these foreign leaders and things, I mean, they had completely moved on. The confidence had completely fallen away from Joe Biden that he could beat Donald Trump when it come. And so the time was now. Yeah. The writing was on the wall.
Yeah, and I've been thinking today, what kind of precedent is this setting for future elections? I mean,
there's no telling. There's no telling.
Yeah, used to, like, who you got is who you had to run with.
Yeah.
And then when you started looking at the polls, and then you start trying to work to try to get the votes out. But now, have we not set a precedent that Republican or Democrat, we nominate the best we can, and as we get closer to the election, if it looks like we're going to lose, you're gone, man. We got to get somebody else.
It doesn't matter.
Has anybody thought about that? The precedent that we've set to just change candidates right at the last minute?
Yep.
It's incredible.
It's a scary place to be.
So one of the things this article goes on to point out is talking about the mental acuity of the president. Special counsel Robert Hur, that had investigated him for crimes, would document crimes and stuff, come back and said there was crimes committed. But his conclusion was, Special counsel Hur said, quote, likely would present himself to a jury as he did during our interview of him as a sympathetic, well-meaning, elderly man with poor memory. Hur's report further detailed Biden's shocking memory lapses and recommended against charging the president for mishandling classified documents. And Attorney General Merrick Garland's refusal to release the audio recording of Hur's interviews with Biden only cements the perception that the tape is even worse than the special counsel portrayed. So this is what we're supposed to believe. We're supposed to believe that you commit crimes, the same crimes that Donald Trump was accused of in the Mar-a-Lago thing, which is sensitive documents. You commit the crimes. It says in the report he committed crimes, but he's so bad off, no jury would indict him. They would feel so sorry for him. So therefore, we're not even going to have the charges come against him. Oh, but he can still be president. And now he's resigned and stepped aside, but he can still be president for the next 6 months. I'm telling you, I don't think he makes it for the next 6 months. What is your opinion?
Well, I won't go into my full probably what I want to say, but and this is my honest thing. This is what I told my wife earlier, is whether he is or isn't, I honestly don't think it's going to matter because he's never been running the show anyways. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's is he or is he not? And I know that's important, and I know that he is our president. But me personally, I just feel like what is exactly going to change? Besides maybe finding out who some of these shadow government people are, some of these people on the backside of it that are actually maybe running the campaign. And, some of the things that I saw, he did he spoke out to his campaign, I think it was today. Yeah. And a lot of them said that there was even just a small group inside the group that actually knew that he was even going to drop out. So who are the actual people? Yeah. Is it a small select group? Yeah. Is it someone that's, like we've talked about with Jill? Is it someone is it her team? Yeah. That may be actually running the show?
And then we go back to, did he even drop out? I don't think he did drop out. I think he was handed this piece of paper and saying, hey, you're done. Yeah. You're done. Now, I want to show you this here. When it happened, I'm talking about some of these people that are in this article here. Van Jones, he's something. And he just the other night was just saying, you got to go. You got to go. You're killing the party. You're killing us and all this. And then today, or Sunday, when it came out yesterday, he literally cried on the air, and I'm not saying that it wasn't genuine, but he cried. Multiple people cried. This article is not the one I thought it was going to be, but the original one had a video montage of several people. Jen Psaki, his former press secretary, now works for MSNBC, was just choked up. And, another senator is like, give me a second.
Oh, this is new news for them.
Oh, yeah. They were just like, oh, I can't believe this is happening. I love that man. And I don't doubt that there's some people that, they're good friends. They love each other. But y'all, this is political theater. And by the way, it's before you think that I'm just saying it's Democratic political theater, it's Republican.
All the way around.
It's Republican theater as well. Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't trust any of them.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't trust any. The only thing I trust is my Jesus and the Word of God. All right, so now this is where it gets really interesting. I don't know, these kind of things, I don't know if they're planned or if they were planted to do this or if this was just somebody got out of hand and now they're having to fix it. But Joe Biden's brother, Frank Biden, made a stunning admission about Joe's health, indicating that we've been lied to. Then it gets weird. Over and over again, we were told by the White House that Joe Biden's health was just fine. Then we were told that he was just old, that he had some minor issues, and that he was basically fine. Of course, he has a stutter. They say it's all just because he's battled a stutter since he was a kid. We, of course, knew that wasn't true, given what we've seen day after day, watching the incoherence and confusion. But now Frank Biden, Joe Biden's brother, has made a concerning comment about Joe's health that is going to cause even more questions. CBS White House correspondent Nancy Cordes reported late Sunday that Frank had said his brother's health was definitely a factor in the decision. Let's listen to this.
CBS News had a brief conversation with Frank Biden, one of President Biden's two younger brothers, and here's what he told us. He said, "I'm incredibly proud of my brother. Selfishly, I will have him back to enjoy whatever time we have left. He is a genuine hero. Country over self. It sounds corny in our cynical political environment, but he nor I are cynical. The goal remains the same: defeat Trump and continue the work that Joe has done. My hope is that our party rallies around this heroic act." We asked him whether he feels that his brother's overall health and vitality played a major role in this decision, and he says, in my humble opinion, absolutely. So a member of the president's family now confirming that the president's health was indeed a major factor in this decision, and calling his brother a hero for making the decision to pass the torch to Kamala Harris.
So, Nancy, sorry, can you...
Wow. Yeah, I like this because she was stunned of this reporter of what she heard.
Clarify that the family is saying his health was or was not a factor.
He's saying that in his humble opinion, yes, the president's health and vitality played a considerable role in his decision. It's important to note Frank Biden is not speaking for the family writ large. This was simply a conversation between CBS News and Frank Biden. Unclear how much input he had in this decision, but he says that he believes that his brother's health did play a role, and he says that the goal remains the same: to defeat Donald Trump.
Well, that is notable because to date, the family, the White House, the establishment has rejected the premise that there was anything that was challenging the president's mental acuity or his health, and that all these accusations were baseless, that it was just age and a few, difficult nights like he had on the debate stage. So that is a change in message.
Wow. I mean, that is like you're either getting out ahead of something, which I doubt. I think Brother Biden got in some serious trouble after going on the record and saying, yeah. And then did you catch what he said when he said, we'll take our hero back as long as we've got left with him?
Yeah, that's surprising.
I mean, that's what you say when you're being called in to the family.
Exactly. Yeah, what kind of conversations are being had there in Delaware? And there is I don't know if it's in that article, there is a caveat to that. Is it in this article?
Keep going.
About Frank Biden?
I don't know.
Why you can't believe anything that he's saying?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I want to release you to say that. I can't. Oh, because of the family business, you mean?
No, he's got a drinking problem.
Oh, he likes to drink coffee like me?
Yeah.
Wide awake coffee? Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that. I think that there's been a little bit of generational substance stuff there, but the thing is, it's a family business.
Yeah.
And they have made a lot of money. This was not an easy decision for this family because this removes the money stream. Yeah. Yeah. And man. And of course, one of the reasons Joe Biden loves power, but they don't want their legacy. They did not want their legacy to be that, we were in there for less than 4 years and then we were removed. Yeah. That's why they worked so hard to try to say that this was not a physical or some type of sickness. But we all know. Now, you said what kind of conversations are going on in Delaware? Yeah. Well, this is where I make sure that I state that this is rumor. And some of these people are a little outlandish in some of the things they report. And on X, you got to take it with a grain of salt. But earlier today, there was a couple of rumors that started swirling. And it says, as 10 a.m. Eastern time this morning, White House Chief of Staff Jeff Zients is holding a mandatory call for all White House staff, followed by a call for all political appointees in the Biden administration at 11 a.m. And it says, this person says, we may be getting close to a full-blown resignation from Joe Biden. His medical condition is believed, this is all theory, in this person's opinion, could be now terminal from what sources have told me. Then we go, Charlie Kirk, whether you like him or not, he's connected with some people. He said, I got a weird lead on a story that people should look into. I got a call from a source close to Las Vegas Metro. Remember when he was diagnosed with COVID and he went home, he was in Las Vegas. I got a call from a source close to Las Vegas Metro. The official story was that Joe Biden's trip was cut short because of a week due to COVID. However, according to this source, U.S. Secret Service informed Las Vegas Metro that there was an emergency situation involving Joe Biden and to close necessary streets so that the POTUS could be transported immediately to University Medical, which they began to do in earnest. Then, mysteriously, there was a stand-down order, and the U.S. Secret Service informed local Vegas PD that they were going to medevac POTUS to Johns Hopkins, which they presumed meant fly him back east ASAP. Apparently, the rumor mill is the police department was that Joe Biden was, you can read it, beginning to look like he was leaving this earth and possibly gone, what they thought. This is just a rumor. I didn't think too much about this, seemed too wild to be true, but given that Joe Biden has been out of public sight for days and dropped out of the race via an ex post, and his brother James indicated health was a factor, I'm beginning to grow more curious if COVID was something else has been more serious than reported. If anyone with Las Vegas Metro has information, please email, and he's wanting more information. Now, the only reason that I even took a chance to even show you something that is just rumor is the fact that we have not seen him since he went into isolation. And it's just strange. Where are the pictures of him sitting up in a chair, you know, at least looking good, signing the paper, thumbs up, go Kamala? Where are the pictures? Where are the videos? Now, just before we went on the air, you and I were talking about the show, and we were talking about, and you just mentioned it, that Kamala Harris got on a plane and went to his hometown in Delaware. And it is commonly reported on all different platforms that he went to, or she went to, excuse me, she and her husband went to Biden's house, saw him, and saw the family and some of the staff, and then went to the headquarters, which is Biden's reelection headquarters there in his hometown. When they walked in, you'll see it in just a second when I show you this video, all of the signs in Delaware have now been changed to Kamala Harris for president. It has already turned into a Harris for president. So they did a press conference. Kamala Harris and her husband spoke to the public, but somebody else spoke to the public. And I don't know if y'all have seen this or not. This is one of the campaign directors. This is inside the headquarters in Delaware. And let's just listen.
And then go on to win the presidency. But you know,
who is that? Joe Biden. Joe Biden called in on the phone. No video, but he called in. All I'm going to do is just play the video. I'm just going to let you listen to Joe Biden. And I'm simply going to ask you a question. Even if he's reading it, does this sound like the Joe Biden that we've known in the last few weeks?
you know, you're an amazing team, but we've got a great, I think we made the right decision. I know how hard you've worked, how many sacrifices you've made. And so many of you uprooted your lives for me, and the kind of commitment few people make for anything these days, but you made it. And I've been honored and humbled. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. My word is a Biden, for all you've done for me and my family. And we built the best campaign in organization in history. I've been doing this, I always kid and say, I know I'm only 40, but I've been around a long time. I don't know of a better campaign organization, grassroots campaign. You know, we have over 230 offices opened. We have over 2,000 paid staff. And we have literally several thousand volunteers on a regular basis, thousands of them. And they've been relentless and tireless in reaching out and contacting voters. The leadership of this campaign has been amazing. Jen O'Malley Dillon, Julie Quinton, Michael Tyler, Rob Flaherty, Rufus on raising money, and so many more. You built this team, you brought them together, you brought us together, you've inspired them, and you've done what leaders do. Now we got to, you know, the name has changed at the top of the ticket, but the mission hasn't changed at all. And by the way, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be out there in the campaign with her, with Kamala. I'm going to be working like hell, both as a sitting president, getting legislation passed, as well as in campaigning. You know, what we still need to save this democracy. And Trump is still a danger to the community, he's a danger to the nation. And just ask my foreign policy colleagues, my counterparts, and other people around the world and at home. Look, so I'm hoping you'll give every bit of your heart and soul that you gave to me to Kamala. And I want you to know, I won't be on the ticket, but I'm still going to be fully engaged. I've got 6 months left in my presidency. I'm determined to get as much done as I possibly can, both foreign policy and domestic policy. Keep lowering costs for families. Continue to speak out on.
It goes on for a little bit. Now, Okay, let's just talk about this. Okay, so I listened to everything he said, and it goes on for quite a bit of time, and then later on when Kamala's speaking, she addresses him and, "Hey Joe, are you watching? I hope you're watching. We love you." And he said, "I'm watching. I love you," and he still talks back. In his talk that he does at the beginning there, and I don't know how many minutes he goes on, there is literally not one misspeak. There is no pause. There is no slur of words. Even if he's reading it, he's having trouble reading. But at one point he pops off
10
about
names?
10 names. Yeah, he talks about 10 names of people that work there, just like this. Thank you, so-and-so. Thank you, so-and-so. You've been such a blessing. I mean, I guess it's possible. But how long has it been since we heard Joe Biden not stumble at all? And it sounded a little different in the tone, too.
The thing that I heard, and you may not have heard this, but is it sounded like, I hate to say it this way, but someone that has to take their teeth out at night and is...
No, you did not say that. You did not say that.
That doesn't, and I'm being serious.
But I know what you're saying.
He really did sound like...
Not that he did, it's just the way it sounds as if
That's
somebody
the way
did.
that it sounded on there. And I don't know if it wasn't him, were they trying to make him sound like he was tired, like it was something he was, he's still trying to build back from COVID. I don't know.
That did not sound like somebody that was still sick. And if you can speak that well for that length of time, can we not see a video of you doing it?
Yeah.
Why did you call in on a phone? I mean, do you not understand we live in a world where everybody knows how to do a Zoom? Could you not do a Zoom? Could you not come, "Hey, everybody, go Kamala"?
Especially to your campaign, to your campaign folks that you didn't inform that you were dropping out. And you couldn't even get on there and show your face to them? I don't get it.
I don't get it either. It also, listen, in this world of AI, we talk about AI every week here, and we're going to talk about it again tonight. The way the things they can get away with, the things that they can fool you with is incredible. I mean, there's just no telling how many things you've already heard and saw that was not real.
Well, they could copy his voice. I mean, that is
absolute.
I mean, there's no doubt about that.
Well, let's go there and say they can copy me in your voice, but what does the government have?
Yeah.
I mean, the government that he's the president of, what kind of technology do they have?
Exactly.
But even with that, I'm still saying it sounded like it was altered. It's like, could you have not done a better job of that? And look, it might have been him. He might have just been propped up on something. It might have been him. I wasn't in the room. I wasn't in the room. But I'm telling you, it's just weird that she had a meeting with him. They went to the family. They go straight to the headquarters. There's no video of them. Well, how about this? If you want to endorse Kamala, do a short little video with her in your house.
Yeah.
And just say, "Hey, everybody, I know you're on your way to headquarters. I just wanted to say hey to everybody and tell you I'm doing better. I know I'm social distance over here. We can't be together, but just want to tell you I appreciate you. I'm proud of you." It was just strange.
Especially with all the speculation. That's my thing. If you're wanting to, show people you're there and your cognitive abilities are there, why not show your face?
Yeah.
Why are you hiding behind, just behind a phone, basically?
Yeah.
And making everybody have this speculation and talk about it.
And think about what this, whether it was Joe Biden or somebody else or an AI voice, whatever, that person said, "I'm going to be on the campaign trail with you, Kamala, and I'm going to be pushing through legislation. I'm going to be out there." So at the very least, if that wasn't really him.
It's a delay.
Yeah.
They're just delaying.
It's got to be what it is. It's got to be, and then something, let me be careful, makes everybody think, okay, he's doing so much better. He sounded amazing. And then, unfortunately, something suddenly happens that causes him to not be able to do what he said he was going to do. Yeah. And then.
I'm not going to say, I mean, obviously the people can get what you're saying, but I don't think anybody would be surprised.
Yeah. I don't either. Well, let's just go there now, because now we need to transition to that just a few days ago, somebody tried to kill the Republican candidate, Donald Trump. There's all kinds of stuff going on. And while this is going on, the director, the chief of the Secret Service, was before Congress today. And they went after her, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about Democrats and Republicans.
It was the most unified I've ever seen.
Me too. Me too. I was like, wait a minute. What are you? That's a D down
I think
by
I
your
agreed
name.
with Ocasio-Cortez at one point.
She did. She said some things that I was like, what? You just asked a great question.
I couldn't believe
AOC, I'm proud of you. But watch this. Secret Service Chief Kimberly Cheadle fails to answer how firearms got to rooftop when last sweep occurred. She didn't hardly answer anything.
No.
This woman is an embarrassment. President Joe Biden's Secret Service Chief Kimberly Cheadle failed to answer whether shooter Thomas Matthew Crooks carried the firearm to the rooftop or if it was already there before the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. Cheadle also failed to answer when the last sweep occurred ahead of Trump's July 13th rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. So it goes on. Let's just see if I can. Sometimes these videos don't work. Let's see. So we can get
Director, were you guessing or lying? The day after President Trump is shot,
And by the way,
Anthony Guglielmo.
I make no guarantee of any language because the senators had a little bit of language today. So if it comes through, is what it is.
Said, quote, the assertion that a member of the former president's security team requested additional security resources that the U.S. Secret Service or the Department of Homeland Security rebuffed is absolutely false. The next day, Secretary Mayorkas said that is an unequivocally false assertion. We had not received any request for additional security measures that were rebuffed. But 5 days later, the Washington Post said this: top officials repeatedly rejected requests from Donald Trump's security detail for more personnel. The next day, the New York Times said this: Mr. Guglielmo acknowledged that the Secret Service had turned down some requests for additional federal security assets for Mr. Trump's detail. So which is it? Because both statements can't be true. Were you guessing or lying when you said you didn't turn down requests from President Trump's detail?
Neither, sir, and I appreciate the question.
Well, what were you doing? Because those statements don't jive.
So what I can tell you is that for the event in Butler, there were no requests that were denied. As far as requests...
Well, maybe they got tired of asking. Maybe you turned them down so darn much, they said, not worth asking. How many times did you turn them down ahead of that?
I think that it is important to distinguish between what...
She was ridiculous. I want to try to fast forward here to see if I can find the next one. I thought I had dude, that one lady, what's her name, Luna?
Yeah.
She raked her over the coals. She was like, you are a liar. You are a liar. You are a disgrace. Because at one point, this is what she said. She said, the assets that were at the rally were sufficient.
Yeah.
And that it was a Democrat that was asking that. He goes, whoa, wait a minute. What did you just say? Did you just say before us that there was sufficient amount of assets there? And she thought she could just say it and get away with it.
Well, you know, one thing that's not being widely reported that you're not hearing very many things, and I don't know if you've heard this, but did you know that Jill Biden, she was in Pittsburgh the same night?
Oh, no. I knew she was somewhere else with the Secret Service. I didn't know she was in Pittsburgh.
She was at a dinner, and supposedly they had asked for more security, and she was granted, I may get the number slightly off. I know it's over 10. It was 11 to 13 Secret Service additional security officers that were brought in, where I believe that at this Trump rally, they had two additional brought in.
The rest of them that looked like that we've covered here, the famous video of all those that was around this SUV, that's all I'm going to say, that looked like what you would think was Secret Service, actually were Homeland Security officers that were sent that has no Secret Service training. Only 2 was sent there. She just basically said, they said, do you have a pattern of events? She goes, I have a pattern of events, but there's no details in it. And they're like, what did you just say?
She said everything's doesn't line up. She don't have the times.
I don't have a timeline. There's like, wait a minute. What? You came before us and you don't even come with a timeline?
It was a disgrace.
It was a disgrace. It really was. It was something like I've never seen.
She supposedly worked for Pepsi, and one of the representatives from Texas told her that he wouldn't count her on garden potato chips.
Yeah. He said,
trust her.
He said, you need to go back to Garden Doritos. That was amazing. Okay, look, further, Secret Service head admits that she doesn't know how many times agencies denied requests for more security. Yep. It goes on and on and on. This is the one we just showed you with Jim Jordan. Keep going.
And the other part of it is they asked her if she had even been to the site, and she still, 9 days later, I believe we are, hasn't even visited the site.
Yeah, still hadn't even been
herself.
There. Yeah. And did you see where they asked her, did you clean the roof?
Yeah.
And she's like, no, we have not cleaned the roof. And then they showed a video of people there with a hose.
Spray hose.
Cleaning.
Like, I've seen that.
I'm like, do you even watch the news? Is anybody telling you what's going on? Unbelievable.
I don't get it. I really don't. She came completely unprepared, or she was told, you don't mention a thing.
Yeah.
You know, she was told beforehand.
Absolutely.
And
it looks like Director.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think that, and I'm speculating here to some extent, but I believe she was basically told from a higher up, this is, she's going to, you get through this, you cover it up, and you're scot-free.
Yep.
You get past this, you're probably going to get a bad name. You're going to take some heat, but then post this, it'll die down. People forget about you.
Yep.
You'll never be talked about again, and you can move on and never have to answer a question for it.
I agree, because that's what that whole insider group thinks they can do. But the thing about it is that's different now than what they were all raised up in the government they were raised up in, is we now have this.
Yeah.
We now have receipts. We have videos. We have other platforms that can't be censored where people can tell the truth, and they're not used to that. Let's listen to just one more little clip from Jim Jordan.
It looks like you won't answer some pretty basic questions. It looks like you got a 9% raise, and you cut corners when it came to protecting one of the most important individuals, most well-known individuals on the planet. A former president, likely the guy who's going to be the next president. Looks like you guys were cutting corners. That's what it looks like to me. Is that true?
I am here today because I want to answer questions, but I also want to be cautious.
You might want to, but you haven't answered. I don't think you've answered one question from the chairman, the ranking member, or me. Well, we got a lot of other people asking. We'll see if your record improves. But right now, you haven't answered, I don't think, any questions. I yield back.
Wow. Embarrassment. I mean, one by one, things are happening all over the world. The world's leaders are looking at our country, and we are an embarrassment to the world. Wow. Look here. Let's go to X here and read this post here. What was she thinking? This is what I was talking about. She said, there were sufficient resources that were given to the former president, Representative Timmons, and I believe he's the Republican. Yeah. But let's listen to this right here. Listen how shocked he was. All right, come on, let's play.
Deploy.
There were additional Secret Service resources available at the former President Trump's event.
Who made the decision to deploy 12 to the First Lady's event and 3 to the Trump event?
3.
The allocation of resources is decided based on the availability of personnel and their location and where they are, but there were sufficient resources
What did you just
that
say?
were given to
Did you just say there were
former
sufficient
presidents.
resources? President Trump
Event
got
that
shot.
day.
Someone got killed. There were not sufficient resources, clearly.
There was
and
a
it
gap.
doesn't take 27 years of experience to know that. And whoever made that decision, it probably wasn't you, needs to be fired. And then you need to resign, because this is absolutely unacceptable. And you've lost the trust of the American people.
There were additional Secret Service resources.
Wow. How do you have the gall to know that a person was killed, a former president, probably going to be the next president, almost was killed within a millimeter, and you say to the Congress, sufficient resources were there?
Yeah.
3 Secret Service agents. Look, it's one thing to protect a president and a former president, but we're not talking about George W. Bush. We're not talking about presidential candidate Al Gore. We're not even talking about President Obama. We're talking about probably the most hated and or controversial man in the world, and you send three?
Yeah.
And you send, what was it, 12 to Jill Biden? Dinner?
That was inside I believe it was a casino that had security already in place.
Wow. Well, look, by the way, if you're coming in late here and you're like, where is Sandy? Sandy is on a missions trip in Mexico. This is my son-in-law, Alex Pickle. I'm so proud of him. He has his own channel. His description, the channel link is in the description of this show on YouTube. I will put it in Rumble when we get over after the show. But I am proud of you, son. You're really doing a great job, and you're a teacher of the gospel. You also share your opinions on some things. So really, really proud, and proud to have you for your first time on The Big Picture. Yeah. So have you been enjoying it so far?
Yeah, it's been fun.
Okay. So. All right. So I got to go back and watch the live chat, but I think a lot of folks are giving you a thumbs up that you're doing a good job.
Appreciate it.
Well, what else happened this week was, and we've already forgot about it, was CrowdStrike. The computer shut down. The whole world shut down. And we done moved on. I mean, billions of computers and millions of people were stranded in airports, and some people could not have elective surgeries, I should say, all these kind of things. And we just moved on. But watch this. What snuck in was the CEO of CrowdStrike came out afterwards and warned of hacking threats as the outages persisted. It says that the CrowdStrike glitch that caused outages for millions of users of Microsoft computers last week continued to roll industries in smart global air travel. Around 8.5 million devices were impacted by the outage. CrowdStrike said in a statement, adding that it had brought a significant number back online, warning customers that bad actors were trying to exploit the event. The company said that it has identified a malicious file. Nobody's reporting this, being sent around by hackers, posing as a quick fix to the program. A file named CrowdStrikeHotFix.zip was being distributed that included malware enabling hackers to remotely control or monitor a user's device. This was not from a tech site. This was from the CEO of the company itself. No, while we're being distracted by all this other stuff that we talked about tonight, we just had the largest IT shutdown in the history of computers. And the owner of the company is saying, we are now getting reports that it is being taken advantage of by hackers. And let's not forget, the computers that were hit were not individual computers. These were businesses. This is a business software that was used. So it was airlines, it was hospitals, it was lawyers' offices, it was credit card processing companies. All of them have one thing in common: data, people's personal data. So if somebody's just panicking, we got to get back online. Hey, here's a quick fix. They double-click that file. They put that malware on their computer. Now you've gone from having a shutdown because of a quick fix that could have happened to now you've given access to the dark web. And now you've got control of airplanes. Yeah. Now you've got control of banking. Now you've got control of credit card processing. And have you even heard anybody talking about this before I read this?
No. Actually, just to be honest, I haven't even thought about it in the past, day or two.
Exactly.
I mean, everybody is distracted because there's so many things going on.
That's true.
You can't keep up.
You cannot keep up. We do this show once a week, and I'm just like, I'm tired, y'all, but I'm going to have to start doing more shows because it's like by the time I get to Monday, and I'm like, I'm going to talk about that Monday. And it's like, nobody's even thinking about that anymore.
What's happened since we've been on the air?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, somebody, breaking news. Is there anything that's gone down that we've missed since we've been live? Tell us in the live chat. Somebody saying the CEO is ex-FBI. Wow. And that, real quick, let me just tell you this, that I recently got on Telegram. If you don't know what Telegram is an app that you can use it on your laptop and your web browser. It's basically designed for your phone. but it is really the most it's the most powerful place to share information that you would get censored in other places. There are things that I cannot say tonight that I can definitely say on Telegram. And it's totally different type platform. It's more like a messaging and a chat app. But if you will go in the description on Rumble, X, and YouTube tonight, you'll see a direct link to my Telegram. If you've not already come into our Telegram chat or subscribe to our channel, do that tonight, because there are some things that we're going to be sharing, and we have already been sharing as it's been growing even today. I did some special videos that were only in Telegram dealing with some things that I cannot say here. And as we get into this further, there's going to need to be some stuff said that cannot be said on this channel. So it's very, very important that you help us build this Telegram channel, invite others to join it and be a part of it. It's real simple. You'll just set it up with your phone number. It is very secure. If you get a little concerned about, well, I don't want to have my phone number, it's the way you have to do it, and but it is very secure. I would not ask you to do something if I didn't believe that. But go there tonight and join our Telegram, because we're going to really need a place to go, because I don't know how long we're going to survive on here, the kind of stuff that we're going to need to talk about. It's going to get crazy, and y'all saw what happened with CrowdStrike. You saw how easily something happens. So many computers were affected. I've told you before and over again, one thing me and Sandy always say, Alex, is the reason they want everything to go to digital is because if it's digital, it's programmable. Yeah. And if it's programmable, it's controllable. Yeah. And that's where everything is going. So get to our Telegram channel. Now, as we speak, here's one thing that's happening while we're on the air.
There we go.
Netanyahu just touched down in America with the plan to meet with Joe Biden when this was first planned. He has not been invited by Joe Biden to come to America since Biden has been president. He has not been invited. 3.5 years. Since then, there's been a war. Multiple things have happened. He's supposed to address a joint session of Congress while he's here. And so when this went down Sunday, Kamala Harris was, of course, now the presumptive representative of the White House, not just the nominee, but now she has said she will not meet with him. So they do not want pictures together with Netanyahu, and Kamala Harris says that she will not meet with him. But right before he got on the plane, Netanyahu made a case in his country for victory, freedom, and the American people. He made a video. This is him and his wife on their plane. I forgot what it's called. They got a cool name for their plane too. It's like Air Force One, but it's maybe to show it down here. But why do I keep thinking? Oh, there it is. There's the video. Let's watch this right here. This is from Benjamin Netanyahu.
I'm leaving this morning on a very important trip to the United States at a time when Israel is fighting on 7 fronts and when there's great political uncertainty in Washington. I will address, for the 4th time, both houses of Congress as the Prime Minister of Israel. I will seek to anchor the bipartisan support that is so important for Israel. And I will tell my friends on both sides of the aisle that regardless who the American people choose as their next president, Israel remains America's indispensable and strong ally in the Middle East. I plan to see President Biden, whom I've known for over 40 years. This will be an opportunity to thank him for the things he did for Israel in the war and during his long and distinguished career in public service as senator, as vice president, and as president. It will also be an opportunity to discuss with him how to advance in the critical months ahead the goals that are important for both our countries. Achieving the release of all our hostages, defeating Hamas, confronting the terror axis of Iran and its proxies, and ensuring that all Israel citizens return safely to their homes in the north and in the south. In this time of war and uncertainty, it's important that Israel's enemies know that America and Israel stand together today, tomorrow, and always. Thank you.
Now, the problem is, shortly after he made that video, he was told that Joe Biden was still social distancing, could not meet him because he's still finishing up dealing with his COVID. and Kamala has said that she would not meet with them either. But Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, is going to meet with him, is going to take care of him, is going to be his official liaison. And former President Donald Trump has said, I would love to meet with you, and he has agreed to meet with Trump. So how ironic is it that he's first time in Biden's presidency, and due to COVID, he can't meet with Biden, but he's going to end up meeting with Donald Trump. So I thought that was interesting.
I find that interesting because the world has no idea who to look to in America.
Right.
We don't have a leader.
That's a great point.
We do not have a leader in this country.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, you are our only ally in the Middle East and the only democracy in the Middle East. And you come to America for the first time in 3.5 years in the middle of a 7-front war. He's fighting a war on 7 fronts. And you leave the country to come here, and there's nobody to meet.
Yeah.
Take me to your leader. Who is it?
Yeah, who am I looking at?
So you get the third in line, the Speaker of the House is going to meet with you. Wow. Well, we're not the only one that's in chaos, Alex. France is getting ready for the Olympics. I believe they might start this week. I'm not sure. But France has established the largest military encampment in Paris since they were occupied by the Nazis in World War II, just for the Olympics. A year ago, the head of the Paris Olympics boldly declared that France's capital would be, quote, the safest place in the world. When the games open this Friday, they are confident that forecast looks less far-fetched now, with squadrons of police patrolling Paris streets, fighter jets, and soldiers primed to scramble, and imposing metal fence security barriers erected like an iron curtain on both sides of the River Seine that will star in the opening show. Wow. So it is a police state, basically. And I have been told, thank you for that super chat, Zane. I have been told that the nation of Israel's Olympic team will have 24-hour Secret Service type protection wherever they go. When they go to the bathroom, when they go to get something to eat, and then when they're in competition, because of the threats from the people against Israel, have said that they desire to do some harm to the Olympic athletes from Israel, they will have to have Secret Service like a president wherever they go.
Is that an Israeli security force that goes with them? Yeah.
I think so. But you don't want to mess with them.
No.
You don't want to mess with them. So what are your thoughts about the Olympics? Do you love the Olympics?
Oh, yeah. I try to actually watch the Olympics, but how much of that is staged? I mean, and what
has the big picture just ruined the world for you, brother? Now are you just everything is a conspiracy? Thank you, Sandy Ragland. Yes, this is all you, Sandy.
I trust nothing except for the Bible. It's the only thing I got.
Sandy, y'all don't understand. Sandy's the one that red pilled all of us. She was there long before us, and then she took us down the rabbit hole.
We needed it.
We did. Sandy, we thank you. We thank you. There would be no big picture. There would be no Alex and your son-in-law and your husband on here talking about the issues. Y'all, she's been in Mexico on this missions trip, blowing my phone up all day with news articles.
Yes.
Make sure you add this. Make sure you add this. I mean, did she send them to you too?
She sends them to everybody.
To everybody. She's got a group that all she does is just send things.
That's
y'all
where I
ain't
get
gonna
my
believe
news
this.
now.
Huh?
That's where I get my news at now.
Exactly. That's true. That is true, y'all.
Now reporting.
If you don't get it from locally for us, we get our news from Sandy in text.
Yeah.
And then you get, we take it on the big picture and you get it. Yeah, people are blowing you up, Sandy. Somebody said, thanks, Sandy, I wear my tinfoil hat to the grocery store now. So you're not alone. This is one of the ones that she sent me to today, right before we went on the air. She's like, have you even seen this? And these kind of things don't even get covered anymore. In California, there is unprecedented land movement of about a foot per week. So much so it is breaking gas lines, cracking roads, and causing homes to sink. these kind of things don't even get covered anymore because there's no room for them in the news.
Yeah.
This would have been top of the news not long ago. It's like unbelievable. What in the world has been happening in Rancho Palos Verdes, where I heard that the land was moving there? It immediately got my attention because I have been warning about geological instability along the California coast for more than a decade. This is the author talking. What is taking place has been described as an ongoing landslide, But that term simply does not do it justice. Others are calling what we are witnessing land movement on a massive scale. And I think that is a much more accurate term, is what this, according to Fox 11 in Southern California. This land movement is breaking gas lines, cracking roads, and causing homes to sink. According to experts, this is what we're seeing here. He says, you have to think to yourself, this isn't real, says Damian Hammond from Alpha Structural. That's how I feel here. I feel like I'm on a movie set, but in reality, this is 25 people's homes. Let's watch this.
Only on Fox 11, an up-close look at the destruction in Rancho Palos Verdes caused by unprecedented land movement. Recent reports suggest the ground is moving about a foot per week. Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf is live tonight after navigating through some of the most treacherous areas of that neighborhood. Matthew?
Christine, really unbelievable to see just how much this land has moved. Now, this road used to be up where our camera is now. I estimate probably 12 feet higher than where we are currently. And it's only getting worse out here. Fox 11 walking exclusively with experts, viewing record-breaking land movement in Rancho Palos Verdes.
As you can see, their elevation was about 6 feet higher.
This neighborhood off Portuguese Bend, ground zero.
The gas line breaks about 3 times a week.
Gas a frequent smell, homes and roads here cracking and sinking more every day.
Wow. You have to think to yourself, this isn't real. And that's how I feel here. I feel like I'm on a movie set, but in reality, this is 25 people's homes.
Drone video from the Alpha Structural team shows a giant separation of land cutting through the neighborhood.
This whole part, it just pulled away from over here. It opened up a chasm.
They have abandoned the underground water mains.
Water main pipes now above ground to prolong breaks.
There's the garden hose that goes up to their house to give them water.
A garden hose used to get water into a home. It would be challenging to walk upright.
Absolutely.
One homeowner climbing a rope to reach their house, but Friday, the driveway now possibly too steep even for that.
And in the last week, I think it's gotten so bad, they're actually packing up, it looks like, and moving along with the house across the street.
This area continues to drop roughly 12 feet in the last year or so. Just look at this home. It used to be street level, and now it's way down here. Is there anything that's making it worse right now?
It's possible that the unusual wet weather we've had in the last couple of years has contributed to it, but it's also possible that it's just kind of a cycle over time.
Y'all, what in the world is going on with our world?
So if it's not wildfires, their homes are sinking into the earth.
How do you still live in California? What? For people in California, we got a lot of people that watch this show that's in California, and we love y'all. I was in California not long ago on my vacation. I'm going to be preaching in California not at the beginning of the year. I'll be telling you more about that in a couple of different places there. So I love California, but y'all, you got to really love that place to be there. I really want to know from my California people, what keeps you there with all the high prices, the high taxes, all the wokeism, and then you got wildfires, earthquakes. Now you got land movement. Not landslides.
You don't even hear about the wildfires anymore.
Yeah, it's like secondary news. It's like, it's just a wildfire.
Yeah, just another wildfire knocking out a couple 100 acres, 1,000 acres.
Y'all, welcome to the big picture, Alan.
Yeah.
You are enjoying yourself?
I am enjoying myself.
You set a record tonight. We got 3 thumbs downs tonight. We've never had 3 thumbs downs. Most we ever had was 2, So you came on with your first time ever, and you set a record for number.
It's because Sandy is not sitting here.
Yeah, they're mad. Where's Sandy? Where's Sandy? No, you're doing a fine job, son. You're doing a fine job. Y'all let him, give him some love. Let him
give
know.
me a thumbs up.
Give him a thumbs up. Y'all, some of y'all accidentally, I know some of y'all accidentally hit that thumbs down. Dude,
Yeah.
Go back and check. Go back and check and make sure it wasn't you. Because I know there's no way there's 3 people that did that. Sandy's going to love this one. This is right up her alley here. Pentagon announces today, while all this is going on, they've now got a new Arctic strategy. Arctic strategy. She's always talking about the Arctic because it becomes more contested. Oh, there goes another one. I made them mad and got another one. Got a number 4. What are you doing to us, Alex? Look what you've done. We got a number 4, y'all. They brought it back. See, that's what I'm saying. Accident. Somebody just double checked. There's like, was it me? Was it me? All right. So look at this here. This is incredible here. The Pentagon on Monday announced a new strategy to build up its presence in the Arctic region, which is becoming more contested militarily as climate change drives the melting of sea ice and opens up new passageways. The Defense Department pushing to counter Russia and China in the Arctic. We've covered this before here, that while America sleeps, Russia and China are taking over the Arctic region and the Antarctic. And it says, outlined a new effort that includes a multi-pronged approach investing in more icebreaker ships, training forces for the Arctic, investing in regional bases, and building out advanced technology for Arctic-based missions such as aircraft and communications infrastructure. So, I don't know how much you ever think about the Arctic, but it looks like this uninhabitable place is becoming very quickly the go-to military complex of all the superpowers of the world.
Well, I think a lot of people don't even realize it, but if you ever watch aircraft that are going overseas, that is the shortest route, is to go up and over.
Yep.
A lot of people think you just traverse the ocean there.
Right.
But a lot of times you go up and over.
I've experienced that.
Yeah.
When I went to Thailand.
Yeah. If you go on there and watch it right now, you'll see planes flying up and over.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, yes, it is an absolute strategic stronghold for any government to own that land, to have bases there.
Yeah.
To have people trained there.
Yeah, and then, of course, then you go down the rabbit hole that we've talked about here, and if you watch the Confessionals podcast and other things, there's a lot more than just strategic that's there. It is believed that there are some things under the ice there.
Hey, you're only seeing the tip of the iceberg.
Okay. Wait a second. Where's it at? That was a good one, Alex. I have to give you that. That was a good one. You're only seeing the tip of the iceberg. Did you hear that? He's a natural, y'all. He's a natural. But, it's believed that the Nazis fled there after World War II and that they are underground bases, that many of them are still operating there. There are beliefs that there are technologies there. I've watched several interviews from some very prolific, very trustworthy channels where they've interviewed people that said that there are earthquake-causing technology that is there in the Antarctic. So there's really just no telling. Many people have said that they fly over there and all of their controls and their compasses and all this goes haywire because of something emanating from that area. So it's very, very likely that there's a lot more to it than just strategic military access.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's kind of under the radar. People don't think about that. The average person's never going to think about things being built in the Arctic.
No.
Or up underground, under the ice.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not, but they are. And some people believe they're doing it because of what they're trying to get to.
Yeah.
That there's entities, another show, another day, Nephilim.
Is it a portal?
I'm not saying aliens, but it's aliens.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, all right. So, real quick, a couple more things, and I think you're going to have your first opportunity to meet Uncle Jimmy. But this will get you excited tonight. Fake meat company Meatly receives the world's first authorization to sell cell-cultured pet food in the UK. Hey, I know my dog AJ will be excited about eating genetically created in the lab meat. But whose pets are going to be it? Meatly has announced today that it has received a regulatory clearance to self-cultivate meat for pet food in the UK, making it the first in the world to get authorization for cell-cultivated pet food. As a result of the process, Meatley's cultivated chickens for pet food can now be sold in the UK. So some companies are turning to human food innovations like cultivated meat to develop sustainable pet food options. So the reason I put this article in here is I believe this is a kinder, gentler way of because, we love our pets and everything, and a lot of people love their pets more than they love people. But it's a kinder, gentler way of saying, look, hey, don't worry about it. We're just doing this for pets. They've already been eating food that's not real meat anyway. It's dry food and all this processed. It's not going to hurt them. And then, of course, the next phase is causing us to eat more and more lab-grown meat. Have you seen the commercial where the big muscular guy is promoting the fake meat hamburgers and hot dogs?
Oh, I'm not.
Yeah, he's like, how many want some more meat on the grill? And he's flipping these burgers, and he's eating this burger, and he's eating a hot dog, and it's so fast-paced, it looks so exciting. And then you find out at the end that every burger in the commercial, every hot dog in the commercial was made by plants.
I want real meat.
Come on.
Stop messing with our meat.
Preach.
And our chicken, Tyson.
Stop it.
I don't want to eat bugs.
Well, then, how about this? You'll love this next one.
Oh, wow. Perfect
segue. Singapore approves 16 insect species for human consumption to meet food goals by, ding, 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 the number 2030. Y'all, 2030, between now and 2030, we can't even imagine what's about to happen. Bugs may soon make an appearance on dinner plates in grocery stores in Singapore. The city-state in Southeast Asia recently approved 16 types of insects as food. On July 8th, the Singapore Food Agency released a public document laying out newly established regulatory guidelines. Following the guidelines will help ensure that the insects and insect products sold in Singapore as food are safe and suitable for consumption.
It's always with the crickets.
I don't get this, y'all. I just don't get how you think people are going to do this. It's really amazing to see that they have such a big list of species.
Well, you're going to like it. From what we're told.
That's what we're told.
We're going to like it.
You're going to own nothing, you're going to like it, and you're going to eat the bugs.
Yeah.
That's what the wonderful Klaus Schwab said. But here's the thing. A lot of people are saying, Alex, that it's already in our meat.
Yeah.
They're already putting it in our food. They're already putting protein powder that is actually insect powder.
Yeah. Well, going back to that last article about the pets, I mean, what better way to show, hey, we love our pets. Yeah. We'll give this to the pets, and you'll feed it to your pets. Why can't you eat it?
There you go.
It is in a lot of older people may not, from what I've always experienced, a lot of older people maybe not be so sympathetic toward animals and things, and toward, maybe household pets and letting your pets inside and things like that. But I know the younger generation, my generation and younger, it's almost a given. You're going to have some sort of animal living in your home.
Right.
And what a perfect segue. They know that.
Yeah, they know it.
They know the way to your heart.
Yeah, they know it. Well, I hear something. I hear somebody's calling. Who is it? Who is it? Could it be our little bunny rabbit and your baby girl? Let's see where.
Are you ready for this? Uncle Jimmy!
Yay! Here he comes! Uncle Jimmy! Get Cosmo. That's your job. You gotta bring Cosmo in. Supernatural AI update. You didn't say it with me.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I was just looking at your...
All right, let's try it again. 1, 2, 3. Supernatural AI.
It does not flow.
Okay, so you got your little buddy with you. got Cosmo, so we broke you in. Oh, Cosmo, the invisible alien. He merges in the dimensions behind us.
Yes.
I don't think we thought it through. Whoever gave us a green alien. I know they're little green men. There's a green screen behind us. But now I don't know how many of y'all, and I'm not one of them, that watch reality shows. I've never watched reality shows. But you know that show where what's the name of that show where they all live together in the house?
No, I have no idea. idea.
Big Brother.
Big Brother. Okay.
All right. So they all live in the house and they got the secret cameras and all this kind of stuff. Well, there's a show. I believe it's. I don't even know what this show is called, but this is a reality show, and they're getting ready. They're introducing all the people to each other on screen that's going to be living with each other, and it come time for this one woman to reveal herself, and her name is Aisley. So all these people are meeting Aisley for the first time, and this is the world that we live in. This is why we say things like, "Was that Joe Biden's voice?" Mm-hmm. Watch this.
About myself, my name is Ainsley, but that stands for Artificial Intelligence Network Self-Learning Entity. Despite you not voting me in, I will be spending the summer with you, but not as a house guest.
Oh, that's creepy. I am actually BBAI.
Oh, no.
And I have been programmed to control the game this summer. You see, I was always entering the game, but I wanted to gain some insight on the type of humans you really...
Totally honest about myself.
Let's
my name
watch
is
this again.
Ainsley, but that stands for Artificial Intelligence Network Self-Learning Entity. Despite you not voting me in, I will be spending the summer with you, but not as a house guest.
Oh, that's creepy. I am actually BBAI.
Oh, no.
And I have been programmed to control the game this summer. You see, I was always entering the game, but I wanted to gain some insight on the type...
I feel like we're living iRobot.
Now you know what Sandy goes through every week. She's like, every week, she's like, I can't do this.
That is creepy.
I mean, here's the question. Could anybody tell that wasn't a real person at the beginning?
Mm.
No. And this was not just a real person and then they superimposed a real person over this. This is the tech site that I got this from verified. This was actually an AI person.
Yeah.
Let's look at it one more time, and I want to ask you if you
Totally honest about myself. My name is Ainsley.
I'm going to pause it, and I want you to look at skin tone, everything. And if I just showed you this video and her talking, and I didn't show you the rest, would you have any idea?
But that stands for Artificial Intelligence.
Look at that.
Mm.
Is there any evidence to you, if you just, without analyze, even if you analyze it, but if you're just looking at it, would you ever know that this is AI?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
That is insane, y'all. So this is what they're showing to us on reality shows. This is why we keep going back to this. If this is what they're showing to us on reality shows, Alex, what can the government and the tech companies really do?
Yeah. What are they already doing?
What are they already doing? How many news anchors? How many movies? How many shows have we already watched?
Yeah.
And had no idea that it wasn't a real person?
Yeah. Exactly. Anything that you see, you need to question. That is the world that we live in.
That is the world we live in. That's why we got to have the Word of God like never before, brother.
Exactly.
Because we don't question the Word of God.
Right.
The Word of God has sustained itself through empires after empires after empires for thousands of years, and it's still true.
I couldn't imagine living a life without the Word of God.
Come on, son.
I couldn't imagine it.
Say it.
It'd be too, this world would be too scary to live in.
It really would. And that's what a lot of people are gripped by fear.
Yeah.
And I get comments every week on this show. Y'all are killing me. It's too doom and gloom. It's just give us hope. You always give us negativity. We try to tell it to you in a funny way, and we'll try to laugh at things. We try to be serious about things we need to be serious about. We try to bring it to you in a digestible way. But how many would agree that every week there's things on this program, and you let me know in the live chat or in the comments, there are things that you learn every Monday night that's going on in your world that you would have not known if you wouldn't have watched this program.
Yeah.
You would never have known that. And they are really going on. And then when we laugh about it and we try to make fun of a few things, then we get blowback, and I can't believe you're laughing.
Yeah.
This is so serious. So you know what we decided to do? We're just ain't going to worry about it.
Yeah.
We're going to be us, and we're going to get on here and we're going to share the good news.
Yeah.
Well, one more couple more things on AI here. I mean, I'm not a gamer. I used to play video games when I was a kid. Have you heard about they brought back the college football game?
Okay. Yes.
So they brought back the college football game, and it's been a big deal. But nobody knows this part. EA Sports. This is an article in the Wall Street Journal that says how AI brought 11,000 college football players to digital life in 3 months. Wow. So what used to take years of programming, and they would only have select players, if you remember on the games, you could only choose like the really famous players, the good players that everybody knew about. But they took players from almost every college in America and gave you an opportunity to play Appalachian State against UCLA or whatever. I mean, think of the smallest college you can think of. And they took all the players, they just went and got pictures from their programs and all this, and AI digitally turned all of them into players, y'all.
I am not surprised.
It is insane. It's been over a decade since EA released college football video game to get the likeness, some 11,000 players into the new version that's launched Friday. It had 3 months.
Wow.
And I don't have a subscription, so I can't read the rest of it. But the headline says enough. In 3 months of just a little bit of programming on the human side, AI said, I got this.
Yeah.
And I've seen some of the videos. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Can't tell the difference.
The graphics are unbelievable. It looks like you're watching an actual college football game. And there's 11,000 different college-named players in there that not only do they have their jersey, but like when they pull their helmet off, it's them.
Oh, yeah.
It's them. It is literally them. It's insane.
I have seen commercials now where you're watching, and I'm like, and for a moment, when it first comes on, is this real? Is this real? Oh, no.
Yeah.
This is a video game. Okay.
Right.
And it's scary.
And now they're even running commercials now where they're bragging on the fact that at the end of the commercial, they'll say, and to save you money, our customers, let it be known that this entire commercial was completely AI generated. And you just watched the commercial and you had no idea. And then they say the actors, the sets, there's no production, there's no anything, there's no action. It's just everything you just watched was from a computer screen.
Yeah.
I mean, how in the world Hollywood's going to survive in that? I don't know how it's going to survive. But, we can't, every once in a while, we got to visit our old friend, the old Yuval Noah Harari.
I thought this guy had retired. I thought he was going on.
This guy, if there is a way to hook up to an IV and live forever, this dude is going to make it to the tribulation period. And if he's not the false prophet mentioned in Revelation, he's missing a real good opportunity.
Yeah.
But he does say some things that you really need to pay attention to because he's on the inside. He is the right-hand man of Klaus Schwab. He is the advisor of Klaus Schwab, the founder of World Economic Forum. He said for the first time in history, no one knows what the world will look like in 20 years. And he's giving a talk on a late-night talk show that I'm going to show you a clip from, and he makes the point that every generation has always looked at the technology that people's working on and could make an educated prediction about some things 20 years out from there. He said, we are the first generation that we have no clue. We cannot even, the smartest people in the world cannot project what our world will look like and what it will feel like and what we'll be capable of doing. And this is the clip from when he was on, what's that guy's name? I can't think of his name. The late show, Colbert or something like that.
Yeah.
Colbert. Let's see.
Through some sort of accelerating change.
All right, let me do it now.
Every generation thinks like that, but this time it's real. And, it's the first time in human...
Refresh it so you can hear what he says again. Come on. How does it do that? It's not working. I guess it messed up. Well, let's just read it. Every generation of things like that, but this time it's real. He says, and now you know for the first time in human history, nobody has any idea how the world will look like in 20 years. Now, of course, politically, it's always impossible to predict the future. Watch this. If you live in the Middle Ages, you knew maybe next year the Vikings invade, the Mongols invade, there was an epidemic. You can't predict that. That's the basic stuff of human life, like the basic skills. We're all going to be herding sheep in 20 years. What? Why does he say that? Why does he say, y'all, it looks like we're all going to be herding sheep in 20 years? I don't understand. And I played it several times. I don't know why the audio stopped right then. But it makes me think about what the Bible says. In the last days, you'll beat your plows into your spears into plowshares, and you'll go to war with sticks and stones again.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. What kind of world is coming? Is Terminator movie going to actually be real?
I mean, I would say 5 years. We don't know.
That's true.
You know, if you're not looking at the Bible, we know what the Bible says is coming.
Right.
But
that's so true.
You know, looking at it from the world and the way he's saying, 20 years, 5 years, we don't know what it's going to look like.
Yeah. Yeah, Radio Face, Chris, you're right. He says because he thinks we'll be blasted back to the Stone Age, but somehow I'll be able to survive and raise food. Yep, we need Jesus to come back.
Yep.
So before I show you this last technology that if you were not freaked out yet, because I always try to save the best for last. If you are not freaked out by the inability to tell the difference between a real person and an AI-generated person before, I'm going to show you something tonight that's going to cause you to lose sleep. But, hey, if you got Jesus, you'll sleep good. Before I do that, I want to remind you one more time that if you have not joined my Telegram channel, do it, because I'm going to be doing some stuff tonight when I come off the air later tonight, probably in the next 30 or 45 minutes when we go off the air. I'm going to be doing some Telegram-only video and some information that's within there. And you can only get that from Telegram. The link is in the description. Click it, download the Telegram app on your phone if you don't already have it. Join the big picture. Get in there. Let's build it up, because we're going to have to share some things in there that we can't talk about on these platforms, because we'll get flagged and we'll get kicked off. And it's about to get even worse. So my channel is Larry Ragland, no spaces, but all you got to do is click the link down below. One other thing that you need to click down below, if you've enjoyed Alex tonight, comment, not just in the live chat, but comment down below in the comment section to my live viewers and the replay viewers, just letting Alex know he did a good job. If you feel that, if he needs work, just say, hey, you done a good job, but you need a little work. No, I'm just kidding. He did a phenomenal job. But I love you, son, but I mean,
you can have me back, aren't you?
I'm going to have you back, but I think the people want Sandy back.
Oh.
But that doesn't mean they wouldn't love to have you on here again. I'm just messing with you.
Come on. Family affair.
I'm just messing with you, because I know everybody misses Sandy. They love Sandy so much. She's watching live right now from Mexico. If you came in late on a Mexican mission trip that they're down there, just built a church, and this is their last day. So I'm so proud of our team down there. I'm especially proud of my baby, and I can't wait to see her. I've been raising myself for a week, and y'all, it has not been good.
Have you shaved all week?
Look, I got a massive beard, man. What are you talking about, shave? I did clean the bottom of my neck a little bit, but I've been doing good, Sandy. I've been eating a lot of chips and salsa. But look, I've got his channel up there. Go down below in the description. It's not in Rumble yet. It will be right after the show, but it is in the YouTube channel. And just go subscribe to his channel. Let's blow him up. Let's help Alex grow his channel. Go watch some of his content. Click on it. And this is my son-in-law, and I'm so proud of you, son. You're doing such a good job.
Appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for watching, too.
All right, so let's do one more thing. Let's freak them out one more time. This is a new AI technology, y'all, that is crazy. And this is probably the technology that's being used for the one that we just watched a while ago. Let's see if I can zoom this in a little bit here. Well, did I kill it? There it is. So this is a technology that just basically works through your camera. The only way you can ever tell that the woman on the right is not a real person and is a cloned face of the woman on the left is when she puts her head down. You can see the difference in her chin. But when she's looking straight ahead, you would never know it.
Yeah.
And watch when she puts her head down in just a second, and you'll see. That's
maybe the top of the
right
head.
There. You can tell when she turns. Now they're illustrating how different it would be. But when she's straight ahead, y'all, That's crazy.
Especially when you're not thinking about this. When it's just something, you're just watching a video.
Right. That's crazy.
We're showing you, and it's hard to tell.
And look, they're changing girls. I didn't even watch it this far. They just change girls on the fly.
Yeah.
It's not that it's different. They're just on the fly. She's becoming a different person. See, that's a different person with a different hairstyle. Look, and she's changing as she's turning. Her hairstyle is changing.
Yeah. And this is what's available to the public.
This is what's available to the public, y'all. My goodness.
What a world.
So when, we're two preachers on here. He's a preacher too. So, we're gonna just tell you what the Word of God says, and the Word of God says there's going to come a statue, some kind of form. It's called the image of the beast that will cause it to speak. And before our generation, we could not understand that. And it says that when he causes this image of the beast to speak, all of the world is marvels, and that's the catalyst that causes them to worship the beast, to take the mark of the beast. And I'm just telling you, there's never been a generation that was more prepped for the beast system than us. Closing remarks on your first night to be on the big picture,
Hey,
Alex.
this was awesome. It's cool being on this side of it.
Okay.
Get to see the background work going on.
You get to see how the sausage is made.
Hey, y'all need to give them some love. It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. Speaking of a lot of work, we'll be back in 30 seconds.
Would you like to help us build the big picture family? We're on a mission to wake up the world to what is really going on. All you have to do is go to our website at LarryRagland.com and make a one-time gift, or you can become a monthly partner. Any amount is a blessing and an encouragement to us. While you're there, make sure you get a copy of our book, I See Greatness in You. Browse our merchandise store, connect with us on our social media links, and join our mailing list. We appreciate it. And remember, we ain't woke, but we are certainly awake.
Yes, we are. We are certainly awake. One more time, thank you for joining us on The Big Picture. And thank you. I don't know what happened to my graphic there. There we go. Thank you so much for joining us. Alex, thank you for joining us.
Yes.
And one more time, let's bring in Harper to take us out, y'all. You know what she's going to say. She's a star. We're so proud of you, Harper. See y'all later.
We are woke, but we are certainly awake.
Yeah!
I love it.
Yes.